Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. The most weasel-like outcome of an investigation comes from Sweden. Sweden, it loses its, balanced way. It lost its neutrality a long time ago, and now it's losing its soul. They came, or at least the chief of the counter information, whatever chief in Sweden, tells us the outcome, or at least the the current status of the investigation. They give us an update, and you will be very, very disappointed with Sweden. This article comes from Sputnik. It is from 22 minutes ago, on the 26th of December 2022. And this is the title: Sweden has no concrete evidence on Nord Stream incident probe, says counterintelligence chief. You're afraid, you're scared, homie. That's what it is. Swedish counterintelligence chief Daniel Stenling said on Monday that investigation related to the Nord Stream pipeline's blast in September has not found any zero, and I'm quoting, concrete evidence, and quote, after Swedish government's decision to keep the probe's results secret prompted speculations by the West. Remember what the Americans said 3 days ago, after that Washington Post article saying that it was not the Russians, most likely there's no Russians. The Americans the next day, official statement, said that there's gonna be bullshit if anybody suggests that it was the Americans. They would be like, did you say anything? Anybody? Huh? Did you? That's how it's gonna be in the United States, in the parking lot of the world community. Anybody? Anybody thinks it was me? I thought so. That's how it works. I'm quoting, we have no concrete evidence, but hopefully we will, end quote. No, you won't. Stenling told the New York Times. The counterintelligence chief announced the lack of evidence after the decision of the Swedish government to keep the probe's details secret reportedly prompted speculations of the Western states that Sweden has presumably solved the case and remained silent about the results, according to the newspaper. Well, I think that's the normal reaction of someone. A crime occurred, you think that is that would be politically correct to figure out that, and then what do? Like you did with Kennedy. Seal the evidence, seal the probes. Yeah, right? Why? As far as I know, everybody's dead. So that might tell you it's maybe the guys who are trying to keep the evidence coming out. It's politically incorrect. He added that the entire investigation is unusual, as quoted by the newspaper. On September 26, fuel leaks were registered on the Nord Stream 1 and Nord Stream 2 pipelines. The causes of the incident have not been established yet. The operator Nord Stream AG reported that the damage was unprecedented, and it is impossible to estimate the time frame for repair work. The Russian Prosecutor General's office is investigating the pipeline incidents as acts of international terrorism. The European Union has also launched a probe into the incidents. As I said many times before, in this one, you can't indict someone by elimination. You have to find evidence, and you have to correlate them, and you have to, be clear about it, beyond any reasonable doubt. You can't just say, well, let's see, I think 20% Russia, I think 80% United States, and I think 0% everybody else. Or, Great Britain is the same with, I said, I made this video when it happened regarding who I think, just by using the facts, the basic che bono, who benefits, theory, and I acted by eliminating the least possible actors. doesn't mean that the most likely I don't know, suspects are the ones, but at least I determined in my limited ability to do this, I determined that by far there is one country that has the biggest percentage, the biggest odds of doing that as interest, as statements, as ability, and that is Zimbabwe, from across the Atlantic, you know. And then the next one is the one of Lazy Truss. Remember that lady? Sorry, that person, woman, lady. Anyway, I think these were the main subjects and suspects. And then you got other guys that did the job for those two, or for that one, the Zimbabwe. You know what I mean? My Zimbabwean friends that I have, you know what I mean. All right, and then Russia was somewhere down the list, maybe fourth, fifth place. Ukraine does not have the capability. Even you can have this, but you don't have anything, or you have this, but you don't have this. So anyway, I think that we will find out, but that would be in about 30 years, because they will tell you, yes, it was them. So what? Screw you. What are you gonna do about it? Nothing. That's most likely scenario. And the fact that the Swedes are afraid, that's the word, are afraid to say it, that tells you a lot. Even if they know or they don't know, they should have an open investigation, and they don't. They didn't from the very beginning. Why would you have that? Because from the very beginning you did what I did. You eliminated, or you said how much, and it was probably very obvious for people who were really involved in these kind of things. Maybe they also have the, how do you call it, they had the exact evidence, audio, communication, video, you know what I mean, visual. They probably had all this before they started the investigation. The problem was politically incorrect. You don't even know if they were on the same boat. You know what I mean? So it's just when they tell you the rule-based world order and all this kind of BS, just remember this one. If they had evidence that it was the Russians, I guarantee you 99%, 100%, 1000%, if you want, that they would have pointed the finger exactly when they had the minimal information, and they would have eliminated anything else, and they would have pushed this narrative with that little evidence. They would have stopped any other leads that had bigger and more probable possible odds of success, or even bigger suspects. Why? Because I don't think they were looking to find out who. I think their goal is, that was the order. It happens, believe me, it happens. You find me the Russians, and they couldn't find anything that they could show up like General Colin Powell and presenting in front of United Nations such a hand-drawn bullshit. The weapons of mass destruction, the mobile labs, Iraqis. So they couldn't do this, or they didn't want to do this. So then they had to discard that nothing that they had about nothing. Probably they had nothing about Russia. So then it was the other side, and they couldn't present it for obvious reason. That's why I like the Swedes, I like the Americans, I like the Russians, I like the Ukrainians, but you can't pretend, you can't live in denial just because you have an affinity for, let's say, the Americans say, we're gonna just cover. I'm just gonna not say anything about it. I can't help. I don't wanna. No, I can't help. That's nothing. I don't want to keep my mouth shut. I think that it was those guys. That's what I think. I have no evidence, but all these things that I presented here, which could be, these words, and the fact that these guys are keeping it as they keep it, I can't, be intellectually dishonest. I mean, I can, but I don't want. It hurts. It hurts me first. I don't want to get hurt by myself. What, I'm a masochist now? Anyway, thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.